Well, hello again, it's Kathy and the cute Rosie Vesperina. Today we are riding from home up to a bike show up at Hamlin Terrace. It's I guess kind of a charity. You pay money to enter your bike into the event, and there are prizes for the winners of each category. Fee has met me at home and we're heading up to Wyoming to meet up with Sal and Marie and her husband, and then we will head up to the first stop at Tuggerah at the Metro. I haven't filmed as much for this first section of the ride because I've done this ride before and recorded in previous videos, and so we obviously start at Wyoming and then we head up through the suburbs up to Tuggerah, where we meet the others. It's another glorious day. We always seem to pick really lovely days to go for these rides. We were very lucky for the whole day today. So we're going round the roundabout at the end of Wyoming and then heading up to Lisarow, which is the next suburb along. And I didn't include a lot of this section of the ride because, as I said, you've seen it. So we've gone past Lisarow and now we're heading up through the Ourimbah area, where we will then turn right and head towards Tuggerah. Not so many cars on the road again, which is really good, though a little more when we get a little bit further up the coast. I've had two great lessons this week for riding. One was at Stay Upright with the wonderful Paul, and that was a private lesson for an hour where we practiced on the most skills for the P's. That was really good. I used the scooters at the venue rather than taking Rosie up because I can't ride that far. But the scooters are much lighter, and so I find them much easier to manoeuvre. So that was a good course. That was on the Friday. And then on Saturday, I headed down to the Heart training course in St Ives, and it was fabulous. So it was not a full day. It was from 12:30 till 4, and Fee went with me for that, and we did some skills-based training, but also did a lot of the elements of the most to practice. So the parts of the most which are difficult for me are the cone weave and the U-turn in the box. I think I found my key for the cone weave. Looking ahead, not looking at the actual cones, but also relaxing in my body and kind of getting the same feel when I'm weaving in and out of the cones as I do when I'm skiing, snow skiing down a mountain. I found that if I relaxed and thought about it that way, it was so much easier for me. So I think that's my key for that element. The U-turn in the box, still struggling with that. So the little bits of key information that I got from both training sessions was, once my front tyre gets into the first part of the box, to start the turn there and turn your body and your head to look where it is that you want to go, and the bike will follow. There'll be enough of the bike inside the box, the U-turn box, to pass that element. I still struggled with it, but at least I feel like I've conquered one of them, meaning the cone weave, and now I just need to focus on that. I seem to be okay with the sharp left turn and with the quick stop and the avoidance. They seem to be reasonably okay. So I'll just keep practicing. I don't have to do my my P's until closer to January next year. So more practice, more sessions, riding now through that really nice section before we hit Tuggerah that I really like. I think I mentioned last time that there are a few accidents that happen in this area, so I always ride a little bit more cautiously through here. But it's lovely. It's a great day, very fresh, very cold. I tried some heated gloves and they were okay, but I don't think I had the setting right, so I ended up taking them off as soon as I got to Wyoming to meet with the others, and just put the linings in my summer gloves, and they felt okay. I still haven't mastered what the best setup is for the gloves. I'm also trying a different field of view on the DJI Osmo Action 5, the linear view rather than the wide. But when I look at the video footage, I think I actually need to go back to the wide, because I don't think you get enough in the video in terms of the view. So I'll switch back to that. Not the next few videos, because they're all part of this, but I've just cut them up. But after that, I'll go back to the wide. We've now met with the others at the metro. There's not too many people here now, but within about 30 minutes there was probably about 25 to 30 bikes here, a lot of Harleys, and they're part of a different group with Facebook who kindly said they would escort us up to the show, which was lovely. So we just all kind of waited here until they arrived, and then we headed off. The bike next to me that you caught a very little glimpse of was a little white Honda Navi, and I'd never heard of it before, but apparently it's automatic and but looks like a motorbike. So it was very cute. It's quite small but very nimble watching it. It's 110cc, I think, but I really liked it. I liked the look of it. I didn't ride it, but maybe one day I'll have a little turn of it. That belonged to one of the other ladies in our group. So we are heading up Tuggerah now towards Wyong. I think this turns into a 70k zone up here where we are closer. We've just passed through Wyong now, heading to a roundabout where we turn right along the Pacific Highway, heading towards Hamlin Terrace. Another roundabout. We've got a lot of roundabouts on the Central Coast. Still struggle with them, as I say in every video, but slow and steady round we go. I think one of the other key things that I learned at the lessons was keeping the throttle at the same level and just using the rear brake to moderate the speed. That was a really good hint for the cone weave, so trying to do that a little bit more when doing roundabouts and sharp corners and things. I mentioned maybe in one of my first videos that I've got a clamp on the right hand side mirror there. That's for the Insta360 camera that I haven't tried yet properly. I've been using the DJI Osmo, and I wanted to get my settings right for that first before I introduced another camera, and I'm not really sure how to edit that in Premiere Pro along with the other footage, so another learning curve. So here we are turning left into, I think, Mimosa Street or something starting with an M, and into the car park of the Dam Hotel where the bike event is being held. I also was lucky enough to meet my two granddaughters here who I had lunch with, and who also wanted to have a little look at the bikes. Lots of bikes here, lots of loud bikes, and lots of really friendly, lovely people. So you were able to pay $10 per category to enter your bike into the show to potentially win a prize. There's a nice little Harley to the right that just went past then. Pretty blue one. It took a little while to find our way round and to find a park, because obviously there was a lot of people there. But we eventually ended up going around through this car park and then parking in more of an overflow car park on the other side of the pub, which was a bit easier. It's not so crowded, but lots of nice people there, everybody obviously with a common interest in bikes. That man then said hello to me because he liked my Vespa, which I thought was cute. So these people that I'm following are all part of our little group. Fee and her son in front of me, who's only just got his L's and riding exceptionally well. I think potentially he's a dirt bike, or knows how to ride a dirt bike as well, so maybe not quite as difficult for him to learn how to ride on the road. So we have found somewhere to park. It was a little bit squeezy in the area, but that was okay. We found somewhere that suited all of us, and then we went and had a little look at the bikes. Look at this orange one. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. I didn't get closer to it because there was some tape there that I assumed I had to stay on the other side of, but she was a beauty. I can't imagine how much work goes into building it to begin with and then trying to maintain it, but it was gorgeous. And look at the size of that big red one that we just went past. That one in the middle there, you can see a little bit of pink and white, had a little tiara on the back, so it was a lady's bike, and it was very, very sweet. I think it had Princess written on the side of the tank as well, so again, another one that's beautifully looked after. They obviously love their bike. Plenty of Harley Davidsons in there. As we move along, you'll notice a couple more crazy designs, and then at the end, all of these incredibly chromed out bikes that were glitter, and the lights had some kind of holographic picture in them, and I'm pointing them out to my granddaughter as we're looking at them because they were so impressive. Again, I don't know how much time and effort is put into these bikes, but they were amazing. So that's the ride to the bike show. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.